Boston, New York City. Here we come. New York City! Woo! What's happening, internet? So in my last video, I told you guys about my New York City adventures over the past 3 years. Now, in the spring of every year, we've been going to New York City once a year, except this year. This year, on the week before school started, we decided to hop into our van and road trip it to New York once more. But this time, not only New York City, but also Boston. Now, I was really excited to visit Boston because I only went there once for probably half a day. And when I went there, it was absolutely freezing, so we couldn't do anything outside. We couldn't really explore the city. Now this time, the number one thing I wanted to do was explore Boston, really get the feel of the city. Now we hopped in a van and our route was simple. Toronto to Boston, and then we'll stay there for a bit, and then Boston to New York City. Now as we arrived in Boston, we were greeted with some amazing weather, so thank God it wasn't cold again. Now my family and I really wanted to explore the Freedom Trail because we heard that that's one of the main things you do when you go to Boston. So we started the Freedom Trail off at the Boston Common. The flowers, the gardens, the trees, just everything around you when you're in the Boston Common is just beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Now I was getting some really laid back vibes from the Boston Common. Now I noticed that a lot of people in Boston like to relax here. There was people lying in the grass, enjoying the beautiful views, talking with their friends, and just having a good time. Now as we walked into the Common, the first thing we noticed was the statue of George Washington. With the garden surrounding the statue, it was actually really nice. Now this part of Boston reminded me of New York City's Central Park, but it was Boston's own little treasure of a park. You can't directly compare Central Park and Boston Common together. Boston Common is more of a garden, and Central Park is more green space, and there is a huge size difference. Boston Common is 50 acres, and Central Park is 843 acres. The Common was not only filled with statues, gardens, and monuments, but they also had this really cool kiddie area, which they call the Frog Pond. It's this mini little man-made pond in the middle of Boston Common, and there's a ton of kids just enjoying the nice day in this little splash pool. Now, I'm not sure if it's run by the city or not, but I just thought that was such a smart idea, and it's so cool. So back to the Freedom Trail. For those of you guys who don't know, the Freedom Trail is a walking tour of Boston's most historic sites and structures. So from Boston Common, you could see a lot of these old sites that played a major role in the American Revolution. Some of these buildings include the State House, the Park Street Church, the King's Chapel, and more. Now what I thought was really cool is you follow the Freedom Trail by following these red bricks on the road. It's kind of like Wizard of Oz, follow the yellow brick road, but it's like follow the red brick road. Now on our way through the Freedom Trail, we ran into a cemetery. It was a really old cemetery and I really wanted to check it out. There was a lot of people there and we went in and checked it out, and apparently it was the site where the victims of the Boston Massacre got buried. Now the cemetery was fascinating because it was founded in 1660. Just looking at all the old gravestones and the writing is sort of wearing away, it was just really interesting. And once you walk into there, right down center in the middle is this monument that says Franklin on it. So the first thing I thought was, oh, Benjamin Franklin is buried here. And that's what I thought when I left the trip too, until I came home and Googled it. He's actually not buried here, but some of his family members are. When I was Googling, I later found out that he is buried in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, for any of you guys who just wanted to know that. We went and looked through the rest of the Freedom Trail, but it eventually came to an end at the Bunker Hill Monument. This monument was ginormous, and it paid tribute to the first major battle of the Revolution. Now we spent the rest of that day really just exploring Boston and seeing what it's all about. And I decided I really like this city. It's really cute, really quiet. It has a look of like a urban city meets like a suburban area, like combined together. Everything looks so nice too. On to the dinner! So for dinner we decided to go to Atlantic Fish Company because we heard it was good. It was a small place, but the food and atmosphere were just awesome. Awesome. That's it. Awesome. It was awesome. And what did I get? I obviously got a lobster roll because I don't know. I just feel like if you go to Boston, you have to eat a lobster roll. I think that's just the thing to do there, or my thing to do there now. And the rest of my family got a whole bunch of other different fish kind of foods. This one thing on the menu they have is lobster ravioli. When we were having appetizers, we ordered one as an appetizer. They also have it as a meal too though. If you're stuck what to get and you don't know what to get the lobster ravioli. I liked my lobster roll, but the lobster ravioli was spectacular. Now, our second day in Boston was much more relaxing. We didn't really have a plan, we just wanted to explore. So that's what we did. We also heard that if you're in Boston, you need to try dessert from Mike's Pastry. So we set off on an adventure to find this place. Now, funny story, last time we were in Boston, we tried to look for this place. We spent, I don't even know, an hour, like, trying to look for this place. We had a map, okay? We went to this place on the map. We're looking around. We're like, where is it? So we asked somebody. We're like, lady, where is this place? We're showing them the map. And she's like, oh man, this is the wrong map. It's not here. It's on the other side of Boston. So we gave up and we said, next time we come to Boston, we'll go. And here we were, next time in Boston, which was this time in Boston. And we found Mike's Pastries. It was good. It was really good. We walk in, they have all the flavors of cannoli you could think of. Like strawberry, like things I've never even heard of before. Like strawberry cannoli, I didn't even know that existed. And the ricotta in the inside is not like white, it's like pinkish red for like strawberries. They had all these different flavors and it was good. It was really, really nice. But if you go travel, something you do is eat a lot, and we ate a lot that day. I was so full at the end of that day, but it was like a nice full. It was like, I'm really full, but I'm really happy that I'm full, you know? It wasn't like, I'm really full and I want to go vomit, because that was gross. It was like, I'm full, but I like it, and I want to eat it, and I want to eat more. Yeah, okay. Now everything comes to a close, and it was time to leave Boston. Now where did we go next? New York City! Never mind, we didn't go to New York next. We went to Franklin, which was a little town that had a mall. And we went shopping, because that's what Canadians do when they cross the border, they shop. And after Franklin, we went to New York City! We actually went this time. I'm not even lying, we went. I really like New York City. I realized that after the first time I went. I was like, I think I like this place. Now, I've done a lot of different things in New York. So this time, it was more just, let's go, let's relax, let's just have fun, not have anything planned, just explore. Kind of like what we did in Boston the second day. And we did that, we explored. Now, one thing we did was my sisters and stuff were shopping for a bit in the morning. On the day we were in New York. So my dad and I were like, let's go do something else. So we went, we wandered, we explored, got some cool views of the Empire State Building, which I videoed up. I don't even know why I'm doing that, but I videoed it up. And we just went and took some nice walks in New York, which is really nice. Empire State, why must you be so tall? Ah, that's better. So we had a lot of fun in New York. We did. We had a lot of fun just wandering, walking around. Now, as my dad and I were walking around, we picked up this lemonade, and lemonade on a nice hot summer day in New York City is a very, very good thing to have. And after an hour and a bit of me and my dad exploring, we met up with the rest of the family and we did some more exploring. Why not, right? First things first, we really wanted to go explore New York City's Central Park in the summer. Central Park is absolutely beautiful in the summer. There is just people lying around on the grass, just sitting down on the benches, playing sports. It's really lively and enjoyable and relaxing, and it seems it's a nice atmosphere to be in. As we walked around and explored Central Park in the summer, we ran into a film festival happening. It's called the Central Park Film Festival, and it actually happens right smack down in the middle of Central Park. They had this big screen set up, and all these people were sitting on the floor around the screen with blankets and food, and people were just gathered there as a community watching some films, and it was really, really cool. After a long day, I got lots of footage. My sister took lots of pictures, and it was nighttime. It was time to go eat some good food again. We were hungry, so we wandered a bit and we ran into this Brazilian steakhouse, which I don't even know how to pronounce the name, and I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it because I am gonna butcher it. It was the best meal we had of that trip. Now, we started our meal off with this huge buffet, and there was all kinds of stuff. But after you're done your buffet, you flip these little cards around saying you're ready for meat. And what that means is the guys with the big skewers come around and they serve you all kinds of different meats. You try everything from chicken to filet mignon, from every good kind of meat you could think of. Now, that dinner was wonderful, and after that very, very good food experience, we decided to walk over to the Rockefeller Center, just explore that, see that again in its summer months. And while we were there, we saw a bunch of celebrities walking out of the NBC building. There was a big crowd gathered around, and we didn't really know who was gonna walk out or what was gonna happen. So we kind of just waited there with the rest of the crowd and waited for something to happen. And Nick Cannon came out. Because it was so dark, I couldn't get my camera to focus on anybody that was walking out, and this is the only clip I got, sadly. And that took us to the end of our New York City, Boston, I guess, road trip. It was a lot of fun in two cities that I love. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll share some more New York with you, probably in another series with all the rest of my New York videos I have from the past 3 years. I will see you soon. Hope you enjoyed that. Bye.